and welcome everyone to episode 5. Is it 5?
I think so, yeah.
It is 5. Yeah, episode 5 of SheHulk. As always, I am Mitch. You can find me on Twitter at 692 tweets. I got it wrong. God damn. And you can find me on Instagram at 692pics. And of course, I'm joined by Sean.
And you can join me on Instagram on Martian_12.
And you will notice I'm not introducing the third person because a certain someone was not on this show this week. So the disappointment for him. I wonder who that is. Yeah, I wonder who was not in this show this week that everyone was expecting.
He's fired. He's fired.
It's all right. Nick will be on Monday. Nick will be here.
I'll be more than happy
at this point, I'm fully expecting Nick and Jared on the last episode. Because that's when it's going to happen. Second to last or last. That is my full bet. And it's like they're holding the good stuff out until the end.
I love Jared, but I like Jared because he just let him talk, and I'll interject every once in a while and then
he does the job for you, right? And it's just like, okay. He's like, oh, sorry, I was talking a lot. It's like, no, just carry on talking, Jared. No,
makes it sound more intelligent than I would do it. So
exactly. Just to articulate.
He's a word. More wordsmith.
So, I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, I enjoyed the episode on so many different levels. I enjoyed it because it disappointed a lot of people that thought they were. That was very enjoyable to me, to see people complain about something that wasn't promised. And then the show was great because it just poked fun at those people, and.
I'll say that opening where she's like, "Oh, this is a self-contained wedding episode." I was like, "Oh, you bastards, cheeky kids!" But then someone points out that there's that one. I think it's Sensational She-Hulk. There's that one cover where it's got like Spider-Man, Punisher, and Wolverine on it, and it says starring on this issue, and at the bottom it's like nothing about in the issue. It's just like, oh, they done it. Like you spines, been bamboozled, been had.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best qualities about the show is they've taken the aesthetic of the comic and just kind of translated it perfectly, to the medium,
No, I will admit they played with fire this time. No,
I don't know. I think
people want the Daredevil back. He's just like, playing with fire, but. More power to him. Keep doing it. I love it. It's She-Hulk to a T, and that's exactly what I want. I'm not going to complain.
It's the character, like in that to me that shows like the people that don't really know the character are the people that are really disappointed.
100%. Yeah. People, there's that one quote where it's like, "Oh, She-Hulk was made just so she can like bang the Hulk," and it's like they've never read She-Hulk in their life. A bit concerning since that was a comic writer.
And then the funny thing is, somebody from the show has probably seen every one of those memes that were put out. And it's like, all right, let's put that in the show, and let's.
Yeah, I'm saying with this show, until Daredevil shows up, I'm fully expecting comments from Jen about Daredevil.
Yeah,
I'm fully expecting it, and I welcome it. I just
and I don't know if I heard it correctly. I think I've seen the episode a couple times, and there was one little line, and I think it was I maybe just me being old and I can't hear correctly. But I think one of the people says like, I gotta go help move stuff around because there's a blind person coming. I don't, maybe I didn't hear.
I'll be honest, I don't remember a line like that, but I might have just missed it. If it's there, I might have just missed it.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be in the comics. But in the comics, be kind. I'm old. I hear things that necessarily isn't there. So
I'm going to give you a warning right now. Your signal's going again.
Okay, great.
It's good now.
Is it better?
About the same.
Yeah. Okay.
The wonders of transcontinental communication.
Oh yeah, in California's Wi-Fi. Gotta love it, man.
But that's 100% better. So I'll just cut out the dead bit there. People will be like, oh, "That was quick." Yeah. Not that it was slow. It's like 10 seconds.
But it was
or
quick.
whatever. Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm just happy we finally had Titania around for more than 6 seconds.
Yeah, and
I'm slowly saying it, Titania, and leaving the Titania bit behind, and I resent myself for it. But it's like you hear it enough and it gets ingrained. You're like, fine, I give up. I'm not that strong of a person.
I mean, tomato, right? You know.
Exactly. I've been worn down enough.
It's a made-up word, anyways, though.
It's probably better that I don't say Titania because YouTube being YouTube and all that. So
it's
a blessing and a curse, I guess, right?
Non-monetized after those comments. But yeah, you finally get the showdown, I should say, from between the two.
Finally, I've only been waiting like a month. Finally,
it was a build-up, you know.
It's a build-up, but I can't help but feel like it was a budgetary reason.
Oh yeah, like I mean, of course, like you can't have a VX shot in every episode, like do.
No.
You do what
but
you can.
I feel like somewhere there's like a nigh unfinished courtroom fight for episode 1, just sitting there. And it's like you've already cut 3 episodes, just spunk out like 5 whatever millions it cost to get it back on. Like just fix episode 1, it was so much better. Right. I loved it anyway, but like just put that back in. Like, just do that.
Yeah.
Because it'll make the show as a whole so much better. Like, it actually gives you more context.
Yeah.
Also, I want to see more Maslany and Jamil together. So.
Jamil, yeah. Such a great duo.
It's a pair that I would never put together, but it works.
Yeah,
it works really
it's like
well.
Peanut butter. It's like peanut butter and chocolate. For those.
I don't know how I feel about it. My brain just stopped me there. I don't know how I feel about Titania's accent, but I don't know if that's because I'm used to hearing her talk with like an English accent, and on the other side, Tahani in The Good Place had that accent, and that's how I associate with Jamil. I'm like, she doesn't sound American. That's no, but that's not a hint of there, really.
I mean, it feels like they're slowly bringing all those people from The Good Place, anyways, over to the DC, to Marvel and Disney, anyway. So like,
ironically, they are going to The Good Place.
Yeah, smart choices.
Keep them away from Zaslav, please.
God. Yeah, well, I mean, on a tangent, I don't know if that's gonna last too much longer, anyways. Zaslav might be axing the whole company. So, but back to She-Hulk. Yeah, I love this episode. I love the fact that it's meta in so many good ways. I
would say this was a weird one for me because I assume during the commentary, Armin and Tristan were talking about how you have a wedding and like you don't really like. There's the whole thing of you feel obligated to ask a high school friend like to be a groomsman or a bridesmaid or whatever.
Yeah.
And to me, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's American
like if I haven't talked, like if I'm getting married and I haven't talked to someone in like 20 years, I am not finding out what your address is to ask you to be a groomsman at my wedding. There's no chance. No.
Well, one, you don't know if that person's a serial killer by now. It's
true. It's just like you don't know what state are they in. Like I just like no. Like that, I find that whole thing really weird. So like, I think that bit I had a different context or a different takeaway from how the wedding stuff went, and I just like just watching the whole thing. I'm like, this is a real dick move. Like people are just a dick to Jen, and I don't appreciate it. But this show has taught me very quickly to not trust people that are nice to Jen.
Yeah. One person in particular in this episode is kind of shady.
The guy she meets. I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
If you don't have a dark side, I don't trust you. So like you have to have a little bit of a dark side, to be human beings. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I can't remember if they've ever said who the LeapFrog casting is. I know there's been something about LeapFrog, like some interview for it. I can't remember if it was from an actor or not, but I'm looking at him going like, you look like you
Looks like a frog, man.
I mean, no, I wouldn't go that far. But it's like I wouldn't be surprised if he turns out to be someone shady and he ends up as being LeapFrog or some antagonistic role.
But I think the beauty of the show is like this guy could end up being a very nice guy at the end of the day, And
absolutely, and I feel really bad for not trusting him, but. But the show has told me don't trust the nice boys because the nice boys in the show suck. Yeah.
It's true. The not so nice people are not to be trusted.
They also
either.
suck. Everyone sucks but Jen. That is exactly what this show is telling me.
I love this episode almost as much as the episode before this. Just simply because it's like it kind of plays off everybody's expectations of what was coming next, and
which on one hand
silly, I love it.
It's everyone's fault for expecting that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the show wanted you to think that.
Well, I mean, the show is that anyways, right? I mean, like
exactly, yeah. Like it's intentionally like tongue in cheek. It is gonna toy with you a little bit. It's breaking. It knows you want it. It's gonna make you wait for it. They knew exactly what they were doing. But as I said before, you're playing with fire. Especially if it was anyone else, like literally, that could have been Ant-Man's helmet, right? I don't think you would have got the reaction you'd have got because it was Daredevil's helmet, and it's the first time the MCU, the Feige stuff has had that Daredevil helmet. Everyone's just frothing at the mouth, and it's like, I can't put people down for expecting it, but I will slightly judge.
I will slightly make fun of you for wanting it that bad and then complaining. I will. Anybody that makes a comment in the comment sections, expect a reply. And
good. Feed my engagement, please.
Yeah.
Feed the engagement machine.
I like the episode because it plays. Up to this point, everybody was just dogging the show because it's a woman centered show centered around a woman. It's got bad CGI, but it's like all these things is like fuel to the fire to the writers. Like it's like almost forward thinking for the writers because they've expected every response that everybody has said. And then
part of me really wants to know. Part of me really, I say part of me, like my entire being wants to know: were some things reshot to say the whole Shrek bit, the whole Shrek comment from Titania in the courtroom, like?
But was
that afterwards, or was that?
No, nothing was refilmed. Nothing was refilmed. It's just the writers anticipating the generic answers and responses to everybody else. It's just like that. That is the most expected. I guarantee you, that is probably one of the most number one answer everybody's had on their list. As soon as they seen that trailer, everybody had to write it down. Everybody had to write a meme about it. I think the writers knew that though. The writers are a little bit more forward thinking than the audience sometimes. And like I think this is like probably one of the first shows that has been like, oh, so you got a funny quip? I got one right back at you. Every episode, there's something that's been like, kind of thrown back at the audience that has wrote a negative thing, So I think that's the best part about the show is like it's like, oh, you wanna say something? Okay, go ahead, say something. The next episode they say something back. It's kind of feels like a competition, in a way. Like no other show was like that. Like no other show rolled with the punches, as much as SheHulk.
No, I adore it for that alone. But what I want to know, I say what I want to know is what I don't understand is this. People are still having the whole, this is a filler episode argument. And I'm like, you said that about the dating episode with Wong in it as well. And then it came back around that, no, that's not filler. It's literally part of the plot. Like it all plays into each other. It's like,
well,
this is a filler episode again. It's like, no, it's clearly going to play into part of the plot. Like, not only is it's pushing forward her arc because she shows up as She-Hulk and then is quickly told, don't be She-Hulk, and she's like, well, she's learning to when she should and shouldn't be either one of them, right? So it's like, A, it pushes that along. B, it pushes the whole Titania bit along. C, I'm certain that the guy trying to hit on her is gonna come around to play.
Of course, but I mean that says a lot about the people who use the word filler. They don't understand what the word means and how to use it. It's just a comment that he can say to be negative about it, or I know something about. I'm more of an insider. Like, it's not a filler episode, and I think even if it was,
it's unfortunate because anime has filler, right? It will literally stop the plot of what's going on and jump to something totally different.
Totally different.
Rewatching Bleach right now, it's got more filler than I ever thought about it, actually. Like, there's entire seasons that are just irrelevant to what's going on, and like it's dragging out the second major arc, and you're like, all right, like I gotta skip how many, like 40 episodes? Cool, I'll skip 40 episodes. It's like nothing about this show is that. It's all one-on-one.
Well, even the funny part is like she addresses the audience that, oh yeah, this is the typical filler episode. Like
it's a self-contained wedding episode, sure. Like the show does kind of say like this is a bit fillery, but like there's no way this thing as a whole is going to be filler.
No,
like
no. I feel like that's like a joke, an inside joke from the writers, to be honest with you, because they probably, I mean, again, a lot of the episodes always. It feels like anybody that leaves a comment or they write an article or they do a video, and then the next episode kind of addresses that that specific topic, and it's like it feels like kind of like the show's answering the person who's asking these questions. It's like, oh, you think the next one was a filler? Okay, we're gonna turn to the audience and say that this is the obligatory filler, wedding episode.
It's playing on TV tropes, right? The whole thing is, this is a lawyer show, this isn't a cameo of the week show, except Blur, except Blur, except Blur, and except Blur. Like, well, maybe it kind of is a cameo of the week show. Since then, we haven't had a cameo, so
it feels like the show deflates any conversation that's negative from the audience. And I love that almost every episode has like a very unique title. Like sequence.
I adore the fact they change it every week.
Yeah,
I love it. Now it's just Jen, Attorney Law. Like, fantastic.
And it's like that's the best part of. To me, that's the best part of the show. Is like I don't need to jump. Personally, I don't really say much about. Like I don't jump into those conversations anymore with this show because like the show's addressing that anyways. I don't need to.
Doing it for you, yeah.
I don't need to come to the defense of any show that's already well prepared to combat the negativity that comes along with it. And
I mean, even just like the thing as a whole, where she shows up and it's like, I don't know, just we need you to just be Jen. It's that commentary of, cool, well, you got something, but people don't want it anymore. Like you ask for something, you get it, you don't want it. Like, it all works the same.
And the Daredevil thing is like just another, like exactly. I feel like an inside joke, but it's like good for them.
Like show up and people want Punisher, I guarantee it.
Well, I like that the show is capable of going toe to toe with critics. When it comes to stuff like this. Yeah. And I think the Daredevil situation, it's a 90-10%. 90% is on the audience for expecting it, and then the 10% is like
I'd say it's more 60-40 personally.
I know.
You dangle the steak in front of a line, you get what you get.
But they knew what they were doing, and like they're
100%.
They're more than capable of taking it on the chin for those people that like assume that the next episode was always going to be that episode.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's playing with tropes, you know. You see it. Yes, a week to week thing. If you have a thing at the end, you address it in the next episode. Like
it's playing the tropes in the best possible way for a TV show or movie, because like
100%.
A lot of films just put tropes in to kind of do fan service, or you know to swerve the audience and purpose, you know. But the show seems to be built on tropes anyway, so it's like, you know, like they're like, okay, you know, it's a trope, we're gonna go along with it. You know, that I'll give all the credit in the world to the showrunners and writers for all that, because they're handling. I mean, they're Mike Tyson.
I will be very concerned if they never come back for She-Hulk. In fact, I'll be very concerned about anyone else handling She-Hulk at this point, because
I think Jessica Gal will be around for a while. You know, she likes the character, she likes the environment. You know, like everything I've heard. You know,
keep that.
Doesn't have any. Yeah, you know, and I think this. I love the show. You know, I just love.
I adore it. It's you know, it's gone from a cool, I guess, like I'll watch it. Like, all right, this is making a case from a personal list.
And
top
that's
2. Like, it's making that jump to being there.
And I think, I mean, despite all the negative stuff, I think that's doing it with a lot of people, you know, that are level-headed and actually watch shows, you know, and that are accepting of different things, you know, like a lot of people
functioning human beings that understand media literacy,
or just human beings in general, you know, that are, you know, functioning. But yeah, I mean, I it's cool to see people that are like, were kind of meh on it before it showed, to be like, I love this show. You know, that's a ringing endorsement for the people involved. You know?
It's like, just each week it just continues to get like just.
And I would say probably
it's consistent. It's a very consistent. I don't know if I say each week stronger than the last one, but it's definitely like we are at a consistent level of just very good watching. It's easy watching. It's smart. It's funny. I've never not once laughed at an episode. So, hey, but maybe I'm really easy to please. I don't know. Unless you're Randy, I'm not easy to please. Though.
I don't know. you got a specific taste, a palette that you like. So I don't think you're easy to please.
As long as I haven't got mutants in it, I'll be fine. Speaking of, actually, that's a fantastic segue for myself. Well done. I'm going to pat myself on the back. We have our second mutant in the MCU.
Yes, sir.
Well, you could argue third, because you had Ursa Major in Black Widow, but he wasn't the bear, so you can say second or third in a technicality, depending on how you're feeling. But I really liked this B plot with Mr. Immortal. I was not expecting it. I adore this guest character. I can't call it a cameo because it's like, it's not. It's part of the plot. So
good portion of the show. Yeah, I was gonna say good portion of the show was about his struggles, I should say. You know,
quote struggles. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. A choice.
I love that. I love the first scene with him where they're discussing the case, and then he just gets so bored, he jumps out the window.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, there's confrontation going on here. I'm not going to be a functioning adult. I'm going to walk out the window.
Yeah,
it's like, okay.
You know, I love the fact that they can take, like, anybody that gets upset on how the character is being portrayed is.
No one cares about Mr. Immortal. If you do, you're lying to yourself. No one cares.
But it's hard to know now.
Your signal's gone again, by the way. That signal went. God damn.
California.
I heard that.
Yeah. But yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, but like, you know, but I mean, everybody throws their hands in the air about every character that's being portrayed. I mean, take Taskmaster for example. Who was the biggest fan of Taskmaster when that movie came out? And everybody threw their hands in the air, going like, "They ruined Taskmaster." It's like, take it down.
I'd put hard cash on the table and say there's more people that are a fan of Taskmaster than Mr. Immortal.
True.
I reckon more people know of Miracle Man than they do Mr. Immortal.
I'm sure they know more about
money on that table. Hypothetically, internet money on that table. No actual. No, he was just so well done in this episode, and of course he was the what's his face from Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, yeah.
I can't remember his name. Was he the mayor in Boba Fett?
I think he was the guy between the mayor. And
yeah, I was gonna say I remember him something to do with the leadership of the Isley place or the Moss place, whatever.
Very slimy politician, So
he was a guy. He had head tendrils. That's all I remember. Yeah. I was like, I remember you. Like you were that bull bag, and now you're this bull bag. But it's I just like Nikki as a character.
Yeah.
Just give me more of her. I think she's hilarious. She's fantastic. Just even if the side plot goes nowhere and that's all she's relegated to, fine. I just get Nikki and I'm happy with it.
Did you catch
the other lawyer? I can't remember her other name.
Oh yeah.
No, those two together, they're fun. They're fun.
Did you see the little it was like a very split-second thing, but she looked at the camera and looked like she was about to say something, but.
What, Nikki?
Yeah. There was a very
I did not. I'm going to watch it again just to see if I spot that.
I can't remember if it was. I think it was maybe. No, it was during when they went on the website, the Intellectia website.
Oh, Intelligentsia, yeah. Which fan.
We're gonna get to that. I'm sure.
I adored that. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about the B plot, so we will naturally lead into that, but we can just jump to it now. Either one.
But that, that will give you a big clue about the person behind all this. So,
because to me, I'm very much on the wagon, and we talked about this in the commentary. So you can go to the members section or members go there and listen to it. With how they're doing everything. We know the leader's going to be back in Captain America 4. Now, I don't necessarily think I think he's going to show up in this, but I don't think he's going to necessarily be the main villain. I'm still firmly on it's that weird guy she dated that called her a specimen.
Yeah.
And that he's going to be the brother or your mastermind for the leader. And then that's how you reintroduce the leader into everything. And he's like, "Hey, look, I got like a post-credit scene, right? Like the end of the show, it's him going to the leader, and that's how you get introduced to everything again. And then, New World Order, you have a bunch of Hulks running around or something. But that's my theory on how it's gonna go. Right?
I'm sure you guys talked about all the little Easter eggs in the website too. So.
No, because I haven't really gone over them, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't see the Bullseye targeting, website?
I mean, I saw the Bullseyes over the images of her, but I didn't immediately go like, oh, Bullseye. Maybe because I saw the headline and I was just like, oh, it's just generic meme sort of thing.
And everything they wrote in the headlines were kind of I can't remember
very
exactly.
Very 4chan-y. Very 4chan.
Well, it's 8chan. That place is scary. It's the scary part of the Marvel universe. And
it does make me laugh that you get all the, Titania earlier is like, oh, you're going to show your 11 followers on Instagram. And it's like, oh, there's intelligentsia. We can't say the bad place. We say I say the bad Instagram ain't exactly a fun place because Zuckerberg. But we'll say the socially acceptable ones as opposed to the we don't go there.
The dark web universe.
The light does not touch that place. We don't go there, Simba. Bad.
All the trolls live in that little community. Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. I mean, like taking the if you look at the comic counterpart, it's a lot different, but I think for the show it works very well, and it kind of forecasts what's to come,
Yeah, because I can see that this being like the second they're after a blood, it's like, well, they're going to get it. You know that's going to be a thing that happens because the whole she's slowly learning that Bruce is right and that she's been maybe a bit too cocky with how to handle everything, right?
Yeah.
So she's going to have a lapse in judgment. She's going to get it or someone's going to get the blood one way or another, and bang.
Well, remember, if you go back to the date part, creepy guy was asking a lot of interesting questions about and then at the end of this episode you see a new needle being placed, so it's like kind of coincidence, I don't know,
And also the whole thing at the start where Bruce is like, no, you can't let people get this, even a tiny amount is bad, and it's like, cool, that's the plot of the show.
That's the plot.
Thank you, Bruce. We know where this is going to go.
Interesting way to show what the plot was.
Yeah, which of course, get Bruce back in for that, because you got to have Brucey Boy back for that sort of stuff.
With his baby carrier.
If he comes in with like the little papoose things, like the wraps with a little baby Hulk on the front, perfect. Chef kiss. Well, just give me Hulk Dad, please. That's all I want.
Chef kiss for sure.
No, yeah, I'm fully on the. I'm fully on the weird slimy guy, but at the same time, I'm expecting the show to throw in a twist. But we're running out of episodes to do that. Like, I don't want the show to be like, it was Kingpin in the last episode. I don't want that again. Like, that was Hawkeye just got away with that. I don't think you're going to get away with doing it twice. Like, I don't think that's the best idea. But
yeah,
like reintroducing the leader and setting up the ideas of more Hulks, like it seems not the low hanging fruit, but it sounds very World War Hulky. You're right. Maybe that's how we get the bigger wrecking crew. Like they're the test subjects. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, I mean, anything's possible at this point. I think, they're very hulky after that. They could get very hulky.
Yeah, they're big boys in the comics, and they were very small boys in the show. Maybe we let a story. Maybe we let a story be told.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, allow the story to go, and then complain about the characters that no one really cares about.
Unless it's Miss Marvel, then I'll absolutely still right. I was justified. That show justified.
There we are. There we are.
It still stings, damn it. It hasn't been 6 months yet.
But
anyway, back to shit.
Still have a couple episodes to go, and we'll see how it lands.
Yeah, we've got what, 4? Got another month left or something like that. I think for the first time, and I'm comfortable saying this, I don't have the fear of, are they going to mess up the ending?
Yeah.
Because so far with this show, we're over the halfway mark now, and it's avoided that was an alright episode. Like, that was fine.
And but I think that the length of the shows kind of helped that too, because it's
100%, yeah.
It's, I mean, I never really had a problem with the 30-minute episode, because it just they pack a lot of stuff in that 30 minutes or 25 minutes or whatever.
I think this one's done the best at that. This one feels like they've actually taken the feedback in and realized, right, we can't really dawdle for 25 minutes a week. That's not going to fly. Like not some shows, but some episodes. Like I think this one definitely feels like they've kind of taken that a bit more on board, and it's like, right, well, we're starting to see, the word, I say worst very loosely there, but I think it was episode 2 where it was like 25 minutes, but it felt like it was 25 minutes. It started to stop. It's like, okay, that was weird, but that's the only one that's done that so far. Hopefully, it's the only one to do it. But it wasn't necessarily a problem. It was just noticeable that it was quick. But a show like this, I don't think needs to be 45, 60 minutes. You know, I wasn't expecting it anyway, which helps. But
well, I think that would have been a problem if it was 40 minutes. You know, I think the length of the episodes are more of a it helps it lends itself way better to that short runtime versus And I think the best thing about this though is by the end of the season you can watch this whole thing in a big chunk, and it's not like a like there's no point.
It's gonna be a really fun binge. It's gonna be a really good rewatch for sure. But definitely so far the strongest in using every available second, I'd say.
And you kind of have to when you make it that short though. It's like if you intentionally make the episode short, you have to make use of every minute that you have. Like, and then but that would be the problem if it was like a 40 minute episode. It's like, what could we do next? Like like what do we and that's where problems start happening. Is like you can't like I mean look at like shows that run for 24 episodes that are hour long. It's like there's gonna be like a stretch of episodes where it just is like a slog to get through. There's nothing to do with the plot. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is probably one of those prime examples. That first season was just like it was incomprehensible because it was just so.
I'll be honest, I can't remember it.
I mean, unfortunately, I can, and it's a nightmare.
In my brain, Shield starts at the Winter Soldier twist and goes on from there. that's where I remember it now.
Where it hit
I tell her, like, I remember days. Is it? No, I remember Sky in the van. Yeah,
I loved it when
my one memory.
I love the Ghost Rider season. That's where it really hit for me.
Good season, very good season.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best seasons of the show. But I mean, my point is like I think being the aesthetic of what the show is, I think at 30 minutes is perfect. It's
It's one of those, if you're gonna do more episodes, I don't mind it being short. I say shorter. I'm not necessarily against it. I think if you're gonna do 6, then an hour would be nice. Really nice to be an hour. 45 minutes at the least. No, that's my sweet spot. Personally, that's my sweet spot. That's why at the end of the day, I'd rather a show not dawdle and waste its own time than.
Yeah, well, because you start hating the show once it starts getting to that point. You're like, you want the show to be. I can't think of the word.
Be as tight as possible, like that dress. SheHulk. Like, God damn.
Where are you, Jarrett, when I need you, man? Like, I need the words.
You'll be here at some point. I promise.
Not a writer, man. But yeah, I think the show is perfectly. I think the comedy aspect plays to that, a benefit to that too. So
definitely. All right, and that's you got anything else to add?
Nah.
No, you're done. Right, so that's gonna bring us an end to this week's episode. So I hope you enjoyed it. If not, tell me why you didn't enjoy it, and make sure each sentence is a different comment.
And then punctuation
is. If you're gonna crap on me, at least do me a favor while you do it. Buy me dinner.
Be elegant about it.
Exactly. Yeah. So until next week, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.